Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and today we're going over the green tea monster Rehab. This is yet another unreleased flavor that should be coming out in early 2024. They used to have a green tea in their Rehab line. It got discontinued, so they're bringing it back, and this is the new reformulated version coming right up. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, and in today's video we're going over the green tea monster Rehab, and it is new for 2024. It should be coming out soon. Monster has several new drinks that are being released in early 2024. I was lucky enough to get them from Cole. Cole sent me some sales samples early. Thank you so much to Cole for sending me these drinks early. I'm happy to get an early release video for you guys. Thanks to Cole. I'm definitely interested to try this one out because I have reviewed all of the Monster Rehab tea flavors that they've come out with, and even their lemonades, and except for the original green tea. I believe the original green tea had been discontinued right before I did my first video on Monster Rehab. If you want to see that first review on Monster Rehab, it looks something like that. I'll also put it at the end of this video, but in that video I think I even mentioned that I couldn't find the green tea because it had just been discontinued. But since that video I've reviewed all of the Rehabs, so if you're curious in any of the Monster Rehabs, you can check out my channel for those videos. And I'm curious about this one because I'm a green tea fan. In general, if you watch the channel, you'll hear me say it anytime I talk about a tea or do a tea review or an energy tea review, that I'm a huge fan of tea. I drink 1 to 2 cups of tea almost every single morning, and I was always a huge fan of iced tea before I had to start cutting back on my sugar because a lot of the prepackaged, the canned iced teas usually have a little bit too much sugar in there, and I've really been looking for a good energy tea, and I haven't really found that really good one. Nothing that I can bring into my regular rotation yet. I'd love to have a great energy tea. The highest scored one that we had was the Nemesis tea from G Fuel, and apparently I must have been the only one that liked it because it got discontinued. And I always had high hopes for the Monster Rehab teas, but they always have this little bit of like a monster flavor to them and really not as tea focused as I would have liked. I digress. Let's talk about this Monster Rehab green tea. And here's the can. Pretty standard can for them. This Monster Rehab all have the same look to them. They did redesign them since the last 2 years. And usually the only difference is in the Rehab, because normally I would point you back to that video for all the stats, which is still good to check out for the ingredients and stats, because the only thing that usually changes is the amount of sugar and carbohydrates. This has 7 carbohydrates and a total sugar of 3. So you're not getting too much sugar in these drinks at all. And you are actually getting brewed green tea in here. But interestingly enough, you are also getting some brewed black tea in here too. But pretty much everything else is the same for your B vitamins and other vitamins that they give you. It is also sweetened by sucralose, so don't think it's not going to be that sweet because they only give you 3 grams of sugar. They also pump up that sweetness with some sucralose. Let's go ahead, let's taste it out. We did the super high dive there because these drinks are not carbonated, so I didn't have to worry about splashing too much and the fizz go all over the place, over the top and stuff. And we got ourselves a light green tea color here. And you know what? That is similar to the other teas, and I think it is because they do have a little bit of black tea in there, because green tea is definitely a little bit more green than that. I mean, it's not green like green tea. I mean, green tea isn't really green, but it's a little bit green. You know what? Let's just say this is a little bit lighter than your other tea colors, but not exactly a green tea color, a little darker than green tea. But whatever the case is, it's non-carbonated. Let's taste it out. Obviously no carbonation for your sweetness. I would say you're getting a medium to high sweetness, closing in on high, which is interesting. Monster usually has high sickly sweet drinks for everything, but it seems like they did lighten it a bit for the Rehab line. I just reviewed the wild berry not too long ago, and then I said the same thing in that one. It wasn't as sweet as I thought it was gonna be, but that's okay with a tea flavor. You don't want anything too sweet. And for your flavor profile, I'm also gonna say that it is a medium to high flavor profile, closing in on high. It's really closing in on that high, but they just didn't hit that high mark. And let's talk about the flavor. You do get the green tea flavor out of there. Unfortunately, you do get this other flavor that's competing with it, and it's that Monster tea flavor, and it's also that little bit of that black tea flavor in there, because I think that Monster flavor comes from the black tea that they have. All of these drinks have a little bit of a Monster taste that flows through the entire line, so that you know it is a Monster tea. And I'm not a fan of that Monster flavor, and it's weird because it's not your standard Monster flavor that you get in the regular Monster line of all the other Monster cans, but they did give it its own feel for the Monster teas, and that Monster tea flavor is really pulling away from the green tea flavor. If they gave you just a little bit more green tea flavor in there, it might have actually got to that high flavor profile. But for a green tea, specifying that you're a green tea, you're not giving me enough green tea. I've had plenty of green teas to know if green tea is too light or too strong. I've had plenty of green teas that were way too strong. I mean, you want to talk about, like, if you don't know much about green tea, you can kind of compare it to the same thing as like coffee, where you can have your light roast coffees, your medium roast, and then your dark coffees. I've had some super strong green teas that I just couldn't drink. I usually like the lighter to medium green teas, and this one is lighter than your light green teas. So it is very light on the green tea flavor. You can still taste the green tea, but I really think the green tea is being overshadowed by the Monster flavor and maybe a little bit of that black tea flavor. That being said, I don't think that is a bad tea flavor. I think it's an okay tea flavor. I think if you're someone who likes teas, or if you're someone who likes the Monster Rehab line and you've been waiting for a green tea to replace the other one, you're probably gonna be happy, but I think you have to like that Monster Rehab flavor in general. Otherwise, if you're someone who likes green tea and you're looking for just a regular green tea energy drink, you might not like it, because you are going to get this little weird aftertaste that is the Monster flavor. And I really think they needed to stick to their guns and give you more of a green tea flavor than a Monster Rehab flavor. So on the Caffeine Man rating chart, I am going to give this one a 7.9. I really would like to put it in the 8s, but just the fact that they didn't give you enough green tea flavor, and it is titled green tea, it's going to be lacking there. I understand that it's going to have the Monster flavor to it as well, because they have to brand themselves as having a base Monster Rehab flavor, but you can still get that Monster Rehab flavor, dial it down a little bit, and give a little more green tea. Thank you again to Cole for sending me these drinks. I do appreciate it, as promised. If you want to watch that first review on Monster Rehab, you can check out that video right there. If you want to know about all my favorite energy drinks, I have a playlist right there of all my top 10 and top 20 energy drinks. Definitely be sure to check out caffeineman1.com, where you can find out how to save money with my affiliate links and coupon codes. And until the next time, have yourselves a great day. Or night.